Short biography of Edmund Burke, 1729 to 1797. Edmund Burke, 1729 to 1797, was an Irish statesman, economist, and philosopher. Born in Dublin, Burke served as a Member of Parliament (MP) between 1766 and 1794 in the House of Commons of Great Britain with the Whig Party after moving to London in 1750. Burke was a proponent of underpinning virtues with manners in society and of the importance of religious institutions for the moral stability and good of the state. He criticized the actions of the British government towards the American colonies, including its taxation policies. Burke also supported the rights of the colonies to the recessed metropolitan authority, although he opposed the attempt to achieve independence. He is remembered for his support for Catholic emancipation, the impeachment of Warren Hastings from the East India Company, and his stance opposition to the French Revolution. In his reflection on the Revolution in France, Burke asserted that the Revolution was destroying the fabric of good society and traditional institutions of state and society, and condemned the persecution of the Catholic Church that resulted from it. This led to his becoming the leading figure within the conservative faction of the Whig Party, which he dubbed the Old Whigs, as opposed to the pro-French Revolution New Whigs led by Charles James Fox. In the 19th century, Burke was praised by both conservatives and liberals. Subsequently, in the 20th century, he became widely regarded as the philosophical founder of modern conservatism. Introduction. East India Bill is proposed in the British Parliament in 1783 in the House of Commons by James Fox, the head of the coalition government. It was about the misjudgments and cruelty of the East India Company towards the people of Indian subcontinent. The bill is considered as the second Magna Carta of England. Edmund Burke, an important member of the Parliament, delivered this speech supporting the bill. This speech is the milestone in the history of England and India, where a British has written in the favor of Indian subcontinent. History and rule of East India Company in India. The British East India Company started their business in India from 1540 onwards. About 100 years they were in India. At first, it was a small company. From 1600, the company explored their business. In 1757, the East India Company defeated Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowlah in the Battle of Plassey, which created the foundation of colonialism of East India Company over Bengal, Bihar, and Odisha. Within 100 years, they gradually expanded their region all over India. In 1774, they had murdered Bahadur Shah, the last Mughal emperor, and started to control the whole Indian subcontinent in the region of their rule. The ruling pattern over India of the British was unforgettable. During the rule time of the British, the majority of the common subcontinental people was increasing day by day. The brutality and cruelty of the East India Company made the life of Indians a complete hell. Warren Hastings introduced a lot new ways of exploiting the Indian people. East India Company was getting richer by exploiting the people. Some of the brutalities of the British upon the Indian are as follows. The British established the law of sunset for feudal tax. The feudal class of the subcontinent had to give tax for their own land, and if someone missed the timeline to give tax, then his land would be confiscated by the East India Company. And also, if anyone from the feudal class had died and left any orphan of him who is not enough mature, then all his land would be confiscated. To save their own land, the feudal class wanted a high tax from the farmers. Our farmers could not grow their own food, but they were bound to harvest blue. The Indian people forgot the minimum liberty of life. After the death of the last Mughal emperor, the Indians lost the complete political freedom of their own life. During the reign of East India Company, the law and order were totally collapsed. All the Indian wealth was taken to England. We had to buy our own food by paying an abnormal price. The educational condition of the India was not so high. The British took no step to educate the Indian people. The condition of women was also not so safe. The British took the widows in any restricted area where they made sexual relationship with that girl. Thus, the girls become mistress of the British. Edmund Burke never visited India. Nevertheless, he felt a strong emotion for the Indian. The British rule in the subcontinent created a deep negative impact on the thought of Edmund Burke. Being a British parliamentarian, he raised his political voice in favor of the Indian people. All these issues, political, social, economical, and law and order, were raised in the East India Bill. He could very well understand that the brutal India Company destroyed the glamour and fame of the Queen Victoria. The people of the subcontinent used to hate the British from the core of their heart. He wanted to introduce an executive British power rather than a despotic mercantile empowerment. He totally rejected the activities of Warren Hastings. His intention was also to make the Queen understand about the importance of the India as the biggest colony, because 75% of the national income of the British comes from India. So Edmund Burke requested the Queen to change Warren Hastings and to employ a new viceroy by herself. So the new viceroy would rule over India according to rule of the British royal family. Burke's speech served two purposes for the well-being of the Indian people. First, to get a good government for them. Second, to make the Indian people understand that British imperialism is not affiliated with the despotism done to the Indian people. This bill is spoken for the liberty, fraternity, and equality. We believe that somehow this bill influenced 100 years later on the mind of the patriotic Indians like Mahatma Gandhi, Subhash Bosu, etc. It created the spirit of liberation to the Indian people.